is my temple. Your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. It reminds me of a song that I heard long ago. Maybe I've always known that you were right there. A simple melody playing over and over in my dreams. But somehow out of reach, eluding me until I release. You come close to me when I release, and I let you take the lead when I release. My heart starts to see when I release. When I release, you said, "Come to my garden, eat from my tree, step in my river, let it take you deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. You walk out, you're able to carry my peace." It's an ancient sound heard from the ones who came before. Now it's here once more to pierce your soul. A simple melody playing over and over in your streets, like a whirlwind turning things, tearing down the dark. That's where I release, and my heart starts to sing when I release. I let you take the lead when I release. You come close to me when I release. When I release, it's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out. It's all in your feelings. It's all how I receive your sound. All in your feelings, your emotions, they find me out. When I let it go, when I let it go, then I let it go. I let it all go now. I let it go. Hey, now I let it go. I let it go. Whoa, I let it all go now. Oh.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? You on the wrong camera angle there. Okay, all right, but we're live, and that's all that matters. Tuesday night, we're in the building. We're in the Lions Den. Okay, so you're messing up the intro. Could have waited to do all that.
Really quick.
Okay, let's just go. You're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
Oh my goodness! This is why I keep y'all mics muted in the beginning. And I was like, let me just unmute him so we could just talk. But here this guy goes, clearing his nose, clearing his throat in the middle of the song. But shout out to everybody who's watching right now. If you're in the chat, make sure you drop a comment in, say hello. Let us know you're watching and where you're watching from so we can get this algorithm going, because we get shadow banned on all platforms. So we need you guys to share and like the video and do us that solid, because this is the Young Lion podcast, where it's a group of brothers and friends and sons and husbands and fathers who kind of grew up together and learned a lot of things. We've been in the music business a long time, and we've experienced a lot of things, and we've come out of a lot of things. And all through the grace of God, we've learned a lot. So a lot of what we do is to talk to younger men, younger people that are experiencing life and could avoid some of the traps and some of the spells that we fell under as we were growing up. And we kind of break a lot of those things with the stuff we talk about on this podcast to show that men can have deeper conversations than just about the frivolous things, girls, sports, cars, all these things. So, if that's something that you can get behind, like I said, hit that like button, share this video, or you can also go to our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv, and you can actually become a Young Lion yourself and become a member of what we do. Support on over there. There's different tiers, but the smallest one is $3 a month. You can sign up over there and you will be supporting what we do, and keep the pride growing. It's been growing exponentially for the last 2 years, which is awesome. A lot of our clips have been going viral, and we're very thankful. But again, this is just a solid conversation that we have about real life issues. Sometimes we talk about politics, sometimes culture, sometimes relationships, sometimes drama in the world. If it can give a perspective on things, and all based off of our belief in Jesus Christ and our trying to live our lives that way, led by God and by Jesus. So again, get behind it, support it, and thank you guys for being here once again. I see Eric, our family, in the chat. I see Jeff in the chat. I see our sister Courtney in there. Make sure you guys share the video. I see Sanoni in the chat from Florida.
We just found out Eric is
Shout out to Eric, man.
gonna have a baby. Hey, so
Congrats to our cousin, man.
My mom's looking at me like I shouldn't have said nothing. That's when you should have told me that.
Yeah,
That's what
you shouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
I mean, I don't care. She told me I'm gonna be like happy.
Yeah, congratulations.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Eric.
Congratulations are in order. You know what I'm saying?
No secrets here.
Jeff said,
He
good,
said LOL.
Good to see you guys tonight. Shout out to Jeff. Courtney said, good evening, family. Courtney Jeff, Courtney are 2 Patreon members. Appreciate y'all very much, and for all of y'all support. If you're on Rumble right now, make sure you hit us up over there. Drop a comment in. I know our brother Stan is watching over there, and James told me he's not here tonight because he thought we were gonna be canceling because I wouldn't be ready to perform.
Jamie's always ready.
Yeah, I'm always ready. So he said he'll be watching. So shout out to James, who's probably watching on Rumble right now.
Yeah, you usually send us a text, but
I was tied up with a lot of things. There was a lot going on. Yeah. Eric said it's all good. Love y'all. Thank you. Yeah, we love you too, brother. Man, I was going through a lot of our old footage, like going through old hard drives, and that footage when we were in Texas with Eric and traveling.
Oh, that was so fun.
Where else did we go? California.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Those were some fun times, man. We had such a blast when our cousin was on the road with us.
Oh, his mom is watching too.
Shout out to our cousin watching. Yeah, but what happened over the weekend? Why am I was going to bring up something. Oh, it was Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
Mother's Day weekend. You know, shout out to our mom. I got to do the intros. So we got with me today.
Introduce
of
her
course.
first.
We'll introduce her first because it was Mother's Day. And she is the best producer in the world, and we love her. And also, because she produced us, that makes her the best producer in the world. And she is our mother, and she's Miss Angeli Lopez. Shout out to her. Thank you for always doing such a great job producing this podcast with no training at all.
Doing
we
her
just
thing.
threw you into the lion's den, literally.
Would you be able to do this, Pops?
And we got to give a shout out to the other chair over there. We got the coolest Asian in the world wearing the jersey that he thought was a South Africa jersey because he bought it in South Africa. That was a hilarious story.
That was so. Did we ever tell that story?
I don't know, but we were in the airport and Jake had bought this cool South Africa jersey from one of the teams out. Which team was it out there? The Pirates?
Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates.
Yeah.
And so Simone went into the store like, oh, I want to get me one, but they didn't have none of the ones Jake had got. So you got one that kind of looked
Similar.
green. It had green in it. That was about as similar as it was.
I was so happy to show Jake. I was like, "Yo, this was only like $55. Look, Jake, I got one too."
Yeah.
He's like, "You know that's Liverpool, right?" I was like, "No." But it's a nice jersey though.
Yeah,
It was recent jersey though.
yeah. But he is the coolest Asian in the world, rocking the Grateful merch. He is our brother, Simone Chang.
Yeah.
And of course, he is the big brother. He's everybody's big brother. He is the preacher, the teacher, the people reacher, Jacob Eugene Evans III.
I love it.
Doing my dad's signature pose.
Yeah,
that was his
isn't that what he always
That
used
was
to
his
do?
signature.
You never knew that's why I did that.
Yeah.
There's a picture that comes to mind every time. Like if
The
you,
one
when you
from-
do it,
With the lifesaver around his
and
neck.
he was in like a pool with
Yeah.
the life
saver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then, of course, I am the one navigating these podcast waters. I am every light-skinned guy that you've ever seen. Actually, somebody on TikTok today made a comment on a video. Was like, you look like you got some motherland in you.
some motherland.
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah. I say, you never seen mixed people before? But, I get it all. Blake Griffin, Conor McGregor, who's the Steph Curry, you name somebody with a beard, I get them. And I'm every family member that's light skinned with light eyes in your family. I'm Jamie Evans holding it down over here. And again, we thank you for being here and tuning in. And again, if you want to support, there's other ways you can support us as well. We have a Cash App if you want to just throw a little donation to the cause and help out the Young Lions that way. It's $ Young Lion TV. And also, if you want to get the merch that you see us wearing, I have the hat on here and the Young Lion shirt. And Simone has on the Grateful merch, which is our band, Jatan's merch. You can go to our website, which is jatan.com /shop. And on there, you can get all of the merch that you see here. We have a bunch of different designs, female stuff, and it's all good stuff. People have been enjoying it, especially the Grateful merch. Like when you wear something that just says Grateful on it, it can instantly change someone's mood.
Yes.
You can absolutely show it, Mom. Let's show it. So we got to switch the camera on you, though. And this is Simone just got that one for, it's very wrinkled, but he just got that one from my mom for Mother's Day. But yeah, when you wear it, you show the world that you're grateful. No matter what you're going through, if you can remind people to be grateful, it can switch everything about your mentality. And yeah, we have a show coming up that we want to announce as well. Big show coming up at City Winery in Philadelphia. All of our family, Eric, we need to see you at a show, man. We haven't seen you at a show in years, bro. So come to the show, City Winery, July 26th at the Loft in City Winery. We'll be performing live. We're doing brand new music that we've never done before. You haven't even heard this, Mom. And then we're going to be doing some newer songs that haven't been released yet and some classic stuff. So come out. It's going to be a great show. Last time it was crazy vibe in the room, and this time it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of energy, and I think people are going to enjoy it. So come out July 26th. But yeah, Mother's Day this weekend. Everybody enjoyed their time. Mom, how was your Mother's Day?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I went to the soccer, to my grandson's soccer game too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jamie cooked eggs Benedict with what was that? Yuca
Jamie went all out.
bread. He made
Didn't-
yuca bread.
Not all out.
I didn't go all out. It
What
was simple.
Jamie does all the time.
It was easy. I made that Brazilian cheese bread that I had made before, and I made eggs Benedict with that and some some shrimp, and I made my own hollandaise sauce. You know,
I know you were happy because this is the first Mother's Day in a few years
No.
Yes,
where
that's
we're
true.
not gigging.
Yeah, we're usually doing a show every Mother's Day.
Yeah.
For the
We
last
almost
5
did
years.
though, because I remember it was on the books, right?
It was. We had one.
was on the
we had
books.
one scheduled, Mom. I didn't tell you, and then it fell through. It was supposed to be in California. So yeah, luckily we were able to be home for Mother's Day, but not Father's Day. We're gonna miss that.
When is Father's Day?
June 16th, I believe.
June 6th. Oh yeah, we're
We're coming back from Daytona.
Daytona, Florida.
Well, we can catch the end of Father's Day. We should be able to catch the end because the show's on the 15th.
Barbecue.
Hey, I'm down. I'm always down to barbecue.
Barbecue.
Anyway, Eric said he definitely has to go. Yeah, you definitely have to go, bro. Definitely have to go.
July 26th.
All right, so we're gonna get into some stuff tonight. We're gonna get into like the George Janko and Logan Paul drama and beef that Jake was telling me about. He has some videos queued up for that. And then what was the other videos you sent me? What were they about?
A story that just happened a couple weeks ago, but it's a lot going on with it. A wife of a pastor committed suicide.
And
name was,
it uncovered all of this like craziness going on. Right.
Her name was Micah Miller.
Okay. Well, we're going to start here for now. We're going to start with a little bit of Bidenomics, the inflation thing. And, everyone's telling us that, the Bidenomics thing is working. Inflation is getting killed, stomped out. You know what I mean? But we got this story right here from the New York Post showing that Red Lobster is abruptly closing. Mom, can you pull it up, please? Red Lobster is abruptly closing 50 restaurants, blindsiding employees, including 14 in New York and New Jersey. Guys, Red Lobsters are closing down like hotcakes.
I haven't been to Red Lobster in like.
That's because you
15
ain't been
years.
on no hot first dates since. Well, you were. You don't take your first dates. Remember when Red Lobster was the first date spot?
I don't
What?
remember.
Back, like
Was it?
15 years ago?
Yeah,
Was
I know.
it?
I know. Red Lobster is such trash food. Like, I hate Red Lobster, but
It's not even good seafood.
No, it's not. It's not good quality seafood. But it for a while, it was like the place that people. It was what Cheesecake Factory became. It was
Yeah.
like this is where you take somebody on a like nice date, and now Cheesecake Factory is not even that. Like you can't take someone. There's a stigma against going to Cheesecake
Why?
Factory on a first because of online dating culture. This crazy these female influencers that are telling women you have to like if a guy doesn't spend $200 on you on the first date, then he don't really like you. Things like that.
Me and Jess went to a coffee shop.
And that's how you knew she was the one. Nice
It
and
was a
cheap.
coffee shop, and we actually just talked about this on the ride to Outer Banks. She actually paid for the coffee because I had to go to the bathroom, so
Oh,
she
wow.
paid first. We were
There
just
you
talking
go.
about that.
See, Mom? On a first date. You were just sitting
You
there
were like,
talking about how
you
on the
gotta
first
be
date the
old
man
school.
has to pay. The man has to pay on the first
Oh my! I
date.
don't
I
want him.
I will not accept anything less.
I was speaking about my brother saying that. Now you're saying it's me.
You were saying
But
it.
I was just saying that, yeah, because she was saying, and I was agreeing with her, that she thinks that a man should pay.
And you agreed.
But I get
You
it.
were
I
telling
I
him.
know who always pays for everybody.
Oh yeah,
He always pays for everybody.
yeah.
Oh.
It's a very kind-hearted man.
He has kind-hearted man that I know.
Yeah.
He is kind-hearted. He paid at the winery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice of him. Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey.
But yeah, so if the economy was doing so great, these establishments wouldn't be closing down like crazy. There's other stories as well. Someone posted this as a response to that tweet. So it said add them to the list. Apparently, Dollar Tree had 1,000 stores closing.
How's Dollar Tree going out of business?
Because they had to move things higher than $1.
Wow.
$1 don't cost $1 no more. If you go to the Dollar Tree and everything's $2.50,
That don't make no sense.
the math ain't mathing.
Math ain't math.
And then you like, wait a minute. So
Yo, there's a whole plaza. So I live in Runnymede now. Defford's right there.
yeah,
The whole plaza where Christmas tree shop is, right behind Outback.
yeah,
That whole thing is like closed down.
yeah.
it's-
Things are shutting down, man. People can't look at all these stores. 900 Walgreens stores closing.
Yeah, the Walgreens by my house is closed.
400 Foot Lockers, 150 Macy's, 350 Gaps, 400 Burger Kings, 413 Krogers, 429 Regals, like all of these places closing up. Someone posted this right here, like this was crazy. $6 for 6 inches, $6 at Subway. Now we all grew up with the how long did we hear the $5 foot long?
$5 foot long.
$5 for a foot. Now you get $6 for 6 inches. That's inflation for you right there.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I saw a meme, someone saying that like whoever is keeping the Arizona iced teas at 99 cents needs to run our economy. Because them prices
I used
never
to get those
change.
all the
They're
time.
they're like one of the worst drinks. By the way,
They are.
Yeah,
but they're
they
still
are.
99 cents though.
It's probably trash stuff.
They are.
It's water,
They done
water
made-
and chemicals.
It cost probably like 2 cents.
Right.
That they made all their money so they can still, keep it 99 cents.
It's probably made in Dayton, Ohio. It's not even in Arizona. And then it's like just tap water and some tea flavored chemicals.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so the economy is doing great. Let's listen to Uncle Joe tell us all about it.
Inflation has gone slightly up. It wasn't
Hold on, let me fix the audio. Sorry guys.
He just looks worse and worse to me.
Dude, he is falling apart, bro. He is falling apart. Like for you to try to act like this guy is in good shape and ready to run another 4 years.
He's
is-
sharp. He's sharp. That's what they say. That's what they're telling us.
Yeah, he's sharp, all right. Sharply declining.
Inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in. Inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came.
It's gone slightly up. It was at 9% when he came in. This is what he says.
But why were the numbers messed up though?
Bro, it was at 1.4% when he came in.
Was it at
He d-
1.4?
Yeah, he's just lying at this point. Either he's lying or let's be fair.
I know the economy was like jacked up.
It was jacked up because
of COVID.
of the shutdown to all of the businesses, which they also are trying to take credit for. Jobs, the job numbers,
Yeah.
creating jobs. He created more jobs than anyone.
than any president.
Yeah, but the inflation was at 1.4 when he came in. He said it was at 9%. Do you think he really doesn't remember, or do you think he's just lying?
I think he's senile, dude. I think he's
it's
just
a little
listening.
bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, lying, saying what he's told. Doing what he's told.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But those are the numbers. Those are the numbers. So then on the other side of things, Wildwood, New Jersey, Trump was there.
Yeah, it was a lot of people too.
Yeah, they said like 100,000 people went out there to see the Orange Man, the big Orange Man.
Orange man bad.
Yeah.
Diane Page from Australia said hi.
Hi, Diane. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share the video, hit the like button, and jump on that Patreon, become a member. So, Moan is a huge football fan. When we were growing up,
Oh yeah, that was cool.
when we were growing up, there was a guy on a team that was the favorite player of the kid that lived next door to us, and he was annoying as heck because he knew nothing about football, but he was just a Giants fan for some reason. And I remember him thinking that Lawrence Taylor caught touchdown passes.
Are you
He
serious?
literally said that. He said he was outside like so happy after they won that Super Bowl against the Bills, and he was talking about Lawrence Taylor throws a pass. Lawrence Taylor catches a pass. Like he just knew nothing about football. You remember this?
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
This is Johnny.
Yes, of course. Of course it's Johnny. So Lawrence Taylor came out and he had something to say at the rally. Let's check it out. Still wearing that dangly earring, boy.
It's back in though.
It is back in. That's
It's back
true.
in.
You just wait long enough and the style will come back. You never give up. You got to have diamond hands like these Game Stoppers. You see that stock went back up?
Yeah,
They
it is.
holding, boy. Let's watch this.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what.
Time out real fast though. Did you hear
I heard the Eagles chant. Bro, they can't let it go,
They
man.
can't let it go.
They can never. Eagles fans. This is why they get a bad rap.
Come on,
They
man.
can't ever stop. Like, yo.
But all right.
Let's keep watching.
Will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's all he said.
I don't know. He said some other stuff, but, that was the thing that people were upset about. He's canceled he's not invited to the barbecue anymore. Because he came out and supported Trump. And then MSNBC.
He's not invited to any Diddy parties anymore.
Nah, Diddy, nope, no sir. He's
That's
not invited.
that's big, man, because he's really respected. LT changed the face of how linebacker play was.
Yeah.
So he's all the players and the people who watch sports and stuff like that. That's big.
They give him credit, yeah.
Yeah.
But you think that it's gonna matter to regular black people?
Maybe.
If they're Giants fans, though. Only if they're Giants fans. Like, let's be real.
Maybe because it's still kind of like I know people are kind of waking up, but maybe that'll change of them hiding the fact that because there's a lot of people
That are afraid to
that
come
are
out and
afraid
say
to
it.
say
Yeah.
that they support Trump.
Yeah, that's true. Let's watch this clip from MSNBC as they kind of spiral over this.
Another thing interesting in this polling was more independents said that they worry about President Biden weakening democracy than Trump, 53% to 42%. What do you make of this?
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
53% of independents say Biden would weaken America over Trump.
find it shocking, honestly. I can't, make sense of that number. I wish I could. I wish I had some really great insight to it. But I don't know if it's an outlier or not because the other numbers with independents and Biden are going in the right direction. So
What's the right direction? You're supposed to be an unbiased journalist. I can't make sense of this. Our lies aren't working as much as they used to. People are tired of us lying to them. So
that may be it. But also, just one thing I wanted to add on to what Basil said. This trial's not on TV. You guys do a great job reporting what's happening. But if there aren't those images coming out of the courthouse, people feel like they know this story. We've heard about it for a long time. So it doesn't surprise me that they're not in it.
people don't care about that story. People don't care about the trial going on right now. Did you see CNN?
Hold up. Which trial? There's been so many trials.
The one right now is the Stormy Daniels
Yes,
one.
I know. But
Yeah.
my point is that when it becomes a parade of things that he's being indicted for and put on trial for,
and it's one nonsensical thing after another.
People are like they just glaze over.
Did you guys see CNN? Like, because there's no cameras allowed in the courtroom, of course, because they don't want anything to happen that would put Trump in a positive light or make him look better. So they don't allow any journalists in there. They don't allow any cameras in there. Did you see like CNN doing a reenactment of the transcript?
No, really?
Yo, it's so cringy. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see.
You think they really believe what they are saying, or they're just doing it just to keep their job?
They're doing it because they're told to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, kids believe what they want to believe. When I was young, I believed that I was a Ninja Turtle. Like you can make yourself believe a bunch of stuff, especially if you're reinforcing it by talking to people who are gonna
play along,
agree with you. And
what's that sound like right now?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of foxes. Because people are playing along.
Can you find it?
I can't find it. I saw it before.
They probably got rid of it, dude. They probably got rid of it because they were clowned for it.
Bro, it was so cringy.
Diane Page said, just like our prime minister. I don't know what she meant by that.
She said that a lot earlier.
Oh.
But I think she was talking about Biden.
Here's an article about it. Maybe they have the footage here. Breaking. Caitlin Clark bench Dave says CNN stars act out dramatic scenes from Trump trial, reading from testimony transcripts. Let's see if they have footage. Because, dude, it is just cringe.
So they took like what they said and they're reenacting
Take
it.
you actually inside the courtroom. We're going to page through word for word the most tense, the most revealing, and really the most crippling testimony for the former president.
And then we're going to analyze where the prosecution won today.
Dylan Howard and from Keith Davidson about the Stormy Daniels story and are wanting to publish that story and the conversations about purchasing that story. Did you speak to Mr. Trump?
I did.
Can you tell us, first of all, why did you speak to Mr. Trump about it?
Because it was a matter that affected him, and because that was what I always did, which was to keep him abreast of everything.
Was this also a serious matter at that time?
A very serious matter.
Did you tell him what you had heard from Dylan Howard and Keith Davidson?
Yes.
And what was his reaction?
He was really angry with me. I thought you had this under control.
Okay, you get the idea. Like, dude, they are so desperate to try to like get people in the emotion of this Trump being slammed with testimony that they like, because they know no one's gonna sit there and read through the transcript. So they're like, if we guys, let's act it out. Let's you play Michael Cohen, you play the attorney, and we'll act it out. And we'll show the world what they're missing out in the courtroom. Like, it's just super cringe. They are desperate, bro. Hilarious.
People won't watch them. They won't watch them if they're not talking about Trump.
Yeah, that's what it is. They need Trump to keep their numbers going. All right, let's move on to this story. I sent you guys this, I believe, but I just wanted to show this on here because this is a huge L in the world of the wokesters. Did I send this to you guys? The woke kindergarten?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing it.
Unless you did.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was going to send it and I said I'll save it for the podcast. Waiting for it to load. All right, here we go.
Elementary in Hayward, California, they spent $250,000 of COVID cash on woke kindergarten. What is woke kindergarten? Sounds a little something like this.
Oh my goodness.
Before woke kindergarten came to town, Glassbrook had a real problem on its hands. Only 8% of the students were proficient in math. Only 16% could read English. Now, after 2 years of woke kindergarten, the numbers have dropped to all-time lows, to just 4% and 12%. 2/3 of the kids at the school don't even speak English as their first language. But don't worry, they're learning how to dismantle whiteness. Here's the founder of woke kindergarten.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yes, everyone, the rumors are true. I am anti-Israel. I am pro-Palestine. And I am 100% 10 toes down anti-Israel. I believe Israel has no right to exist. I believe the United States has no right to exist. White supremacy destroys for the sake of destruction. Abolition destroys for the sake of creation. We are not the same. Y'all are the demons. Y'all are the villains. We've been trying to end y'all. Get free of y'all.
Don't she look half white? Like,
is this the person? This the person who started the school?
Founded woke kindergarten, the program.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, she didn't. She's not thinking through anything she's saying.
No,
at all. Like,
yeah. I mean, they said when she got there, it was only 8% of people could read.
Yeah, it dropped.
It dropped to 4.
It got cut in half.
Right. But so they thought, let's bring her in and teach the kids to say no Donald Trump, and then they'll learn how to read.
Yeah. No. Because she doesn't have a desire for the kids. She has a desire to see her agenda.
Right.
And with that, you're not going to get the results. Obviously.
Who would agree to this?
Who okayed this? Do you see? They spent $250,000 of COVID money on this program.
I don't understand, like, for her to say, like, she said about America.
Yeah, doesn't have a right to exist.
Doesn't have a right to exist.
Yeah.
All right, then everything that you
stand on,
and everything that you have, is because,
right,
like all the stuff, even the fact that you can say what you can say,
The freedom, yeah.
it's all because you're in America.
Yeah.
Your
So if
freedom
it doesn't
of
have a
speech.
right to exist, and you don't have a right to say anything you're saying.
Say that in
Do anything
Palestine.
you're doing.
Right. Go to Palestine.
Yeah, go to Palestine. They gonna know. They gonna know what you are just by you know.
But that's how you know that, because they act like they hate America, but they act like they hate America because they don't really hate America.
No.
Because if they really hated America,
They wouldn't be here. Exactly. That is a 100% fact.
It's like acting like you hate your parents.
Yep.
But you still live in, I hate you.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Close the door.
that your parents provide
And
you.
then go and then sneak and go in the fridge and look what's to eat because you hungry
when nobody's around because you don't want to feel stupid because
now you're hungry and realize you don't know how to feed yourself or have a car or do anything that could possibly sustain your own life.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They hate America. Leave. Go to Palestine.
They never will. All right, so I got one more story. So it turns out that Ukraine is losing the war right now to Russia. And one of the main reasons is, pull this up, Mom, please. Ukraine says it's uncovered $400 million corruption scheme in a $400 million corruption scheme in weapons.
$40 million.
40 million, sorry. Ukraine says it uncovered a 40 million corruption scheme in weapons procurement, which they are saying that the a bunch of like high up people in Ukraine have been stealing money, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming, huh? Sending billions of dollars over there and you just thought they were going to just use it all for what they said they needed it for.
Oh.
And it turns out
It's like the Clintons in Haiti.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or how about this from back in? This was back in April of 2023. Zelensky and team stole $400 million of U.S. aid. Yeah, and we still gave them more money. How about this from Forbes? This was back in when was this? January 11th. this year. Over $1 billion in Ukraine military aid was poorly tracked, creating concerns over risk of theft, Pentagon says. You think? Like, what did we expect was going to happen? We're just sending barrels of money over there.
Mm-hmm. Barrels of our tax paying. They tax everything.
Well, but what did that one congressman or senator, what did he say? The Ukrainian border is our border.
Yeah. Is it our border?
We got to send them money.
We don't care about our borders.
Yeah.
Our real borders.
Yeah, that's why when our border bill sent more money to Israel and Ukraine than our own border. It was supposed to be to secure our borders. Yeah.
There's a lot of trust going on when people want to trust people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trust. Ukraine is benevolent.
Right.
All the people there are
they're just
wonderful
perfect
people.
Yeah. And we just need to help them because Ukraine it just baffles my mind how they have people under this Ukraine spell right now.
Yeah.
I don't get it. All right, let's get into these topics. So which one did you want to get into first? Just start from the first video you sent me?
I guess we could do the George Janko.
Okay.
That'll be quicker. Then we can go.
Okay. Let's start with that. I think that was... I don't remember which video that is, dude. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, so I'll just set it up.
Okay.
So there's the Impulsive podcast, right?
Uh-huh.
And George Janko used to be on the Impulsive podcast. He left. He started his own podcast.
Right. But first you got to mention Logan Paul because he was the more famous one, more well-known one. George was kind of his friend who was a co-host on Logan Paul's podcast called Impulsive, right.
Yeah, Logan Paul got famous for just being, to be honest, like just an idiot on
a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber.
Like one of those YouTubers just do dumb stuff.
Yeah, they would do pranks. They would do dumb stuff.
And
there was an era for that stuff that kind of blew up a lot of people.
And then he there's a lot of backlash. He did something in Japan. I don't know if you remember that.
Was that Logan or Jake that did that?
No, that was Logan.
That was Logan. Okay, yeah, I remember that. He filmed that place the suicide park where everyone would hang themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of issues from that.
Yeah.
Got disowned by The Rock.
By The Rock.
Because the Rock and him were really cool.
They were really cool.
Rock just ghosted him after that.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, so this guy, he's been through a lot. He's in the club, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. He's doing his thing. I think he knows how to play the game.
Yeah.
You know.
He definitely does. I mean, we were showing the Prime video because he's involved with Prime energy drink,
which is like in class action
lawsuits, and we were talking about how George, what's the fighter that I was showing. He was talking about how he don't like Logan Paul because of what he stands for. He don't speak out against nothing, and he's robbing people. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't respect him.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia, that's who it is. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so Logan Paul is in the club. Ryan Garcia even said that, like he plays the game. He doesn't. He wants to he cares about his brand and wants to
cares about his brand, cares about his image, he wants to project a certain thing.
Yeah.
And I think there's this, and I wanted to show this just because, like in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of this like you accept a lot of really bad behavior.
Yeah.
And then all for jokes.
Right.
And thinking, well, that's just what we do and we're having fun. And I think there, even in terms of like how he started and this whole pranking, culture and all this, you're seeing a lot of backlash and how it's like people, oh, it's just a prank. It's just a prank.
Yeah.
You know, when people almost get beat up.
There was a dude that got shot.
That's right.
One of the pranksters got shot.
That's right. Because we take these things too far. It's like, it's never gonna, they don't stop there. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, right? So
Yeah.
people do worse and worse things so people can laugh and think it's funny.
Or they can get views, or they can get, ad dollars, whatever.
But it's at the expense of our culture.
Yeah.
Because it just gets more and more depraved if
Yeah.
we allow these things to happen.
Right. You slowly move into more chaotic.
Right. So George was on his show, and George
They've been friends a long time.
They've been friends for a long time. He's a believer.
Well, he became a Christian, right? Later on.
During in the middle of the show, right?
Yeah.
That's where
Well,
the
he
beef
was
came.
always a believer, but he became
he gave his life to Jesus
I guess
a little
he,
stronger while he was
Yeah.
on the show. And he
Right.
would openly talk about it on the show all the time.
Mhm.
And it became like a little bit of a joke to them, where they would make fun of his faith. They would make little jokes.
Right.
And he would always like stand his ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could see though, like even the way they joke and the way they talk about stuff. I haven't watched a lot of it, but little clips that I've seen from other podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it says, I think it's 2 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians, bad company corrupts good morals.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing. Like, and you can even see it when George is talking to Mike, a guy who he used to be really friends with, and they're used to talking to each other on this podcast all the
Right.
time. So they get into a flow. Because he stopped cursing, right? He gets in with them, he just starts cursing again.
Yeah.
On the podcast, on his own podcast, because he gets into the flow of what he's used to
Right.
with him. So, and you see, like, it's uncomfortable when you're going into places where you're not really, you have a problem with, right? So this is where I think maybe he realized, like, I can't keep doing this, you know? And he was struggling and wrestling with that. And then also seeing like, well, they're allowing this to happen too. So
Right. So the guy Mike that he's talking to on his podcast was another member of
he was another co-host.
Co-host on Logan's podcast.
Right.
So he's interviewing him now, and they're going to talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Well, the first one I sent you should be the video of the Impulsive podcast.
Okay.
Where the actual incident happened.
So this is where everything kind of fell apart, and it involves Tommy Lee. I've seen this clip. So
Yeah.
this involves Tommy Lee, the comedian. He was being interviewed on the podcast, and things went extremely left.
Yeah.
So we'll watch that.
Like a fledgling.
What cologne? Like what?
Well, that's why I wanted to smell.
Or maybe he'll know the smell too.
So don't worry about it, guys. I'm not gonna...
Smell his dick. Oh shit, he really his ass is out.
Look at the touch.
All the money and you're using fruit.
I feel like you got that in prison.
Yeah, I did. Dude, I just got the biggest boner for some reason.
Smell this part. No, smell. You got to smell it.
I just wafted it.
Dude, this is not gay. It's podcasting. It's for entertainment. It's material. And in improv, you never disagree. You always agree. Because yes and you ruin the fucking moment if you don't do it. So you're gonna fucking smell my dick, and it's not gay.
It's material, George.
Yeah. So here. I have to grab your head.
No.
It smells good. It smells good. Don't smell it.
He's right. It smells like
Does it really?
Like
Does it
what?
really?
Like it smelled like he sprayed it like 2 days ago. But describe the scent.
Describe.
Okay, so 2 days ago he thought he was gonna get lucky and he didn't. That's what it smelled. No, but describe the scent. Is it more floral? By the way.
Yeah.
That's not a stem. Good for you.
Thank you.
You're doing good.
Wow. I love it. That's why I did it.
Wow. When you pulled on it, I go.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Okay. There was certain.
So that was the first incident, right?
Right.
And you could tell he was uncomfortable, but he was kind of doing it to go along with the vibe of this is the type of stuff they do.
Right.
You know, it was funny because remember the roast of Tom Brady?
I still
have you still haven't watched it?
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of the jokes, locker room jokes, especially with white dudes, it always becomes stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
And so Kevin Hart, like, he kept saying, like, see, this is the cultural difference between whites and blacks. Like, y'all are always joking about, like, sexual stuff, like penises and balls and gay stuff, man. Like, what is it about y'all that y'all want to joke about that stuff? But yeah, so this is kind of how they joke, and Tommy Lee is one of those type of guys too. So he got mixed up in that, and then it continued from there. Let's keep.
And there was some other stuff like they cut out a lot of stuff on the show.
The stuff that actually
happened.
aired. Wow.
It didn't air.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so
yeah.
the stuff that actually aired is what we're seeing, but there was other stuff that didn't air.
Yeah, like he was grabbing his penis a lot.
Oh.
Like, I think that was another thing that was making him really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So he, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things where he's like, hold up, this is too much.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're
He was touching him. Tommy Lee was touching his penis.
Yeah. I mean,
Bobby Lee.
Or whatever.
Bobby Lee. Did I say Tommy Lee?
Lee is somebody else.
Did I say Tommy?
Tommy Lee is the drummer, right?
Tommy Lee is the drummer.
Yeah, Bobby Lee.
Yeah. But Bobby Lee, what he's doing is like, some could argue it's
disrespectful.
Well, it's SA.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is,
Like,
yeah.
If you were to take that into any other environment, or if you swap, if you put a different gender in there, like it's SA.
Yeah.
But there's a difference with men. Like people don't see it that way for some reason.
Well, not only that, it's people do see it that way, but they don't see it that way because it becomes acceptable, especially in media.
Yeah.
Right?
And in comedy for some
comedy.
reason.
But
Yeah.
like think about how many really bad, like horrible comedy movies have been out recently where they're just doing like really obscene.
I haven't seen any good comedy movies lately.
There haven't been any.
Yeah.
They just do really dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like how, because I always say like funny is subjective.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
It's not like, oh no, it's just funny. Oh, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
No, it's not just a joke. It's not just funny. You have to cultivate humor.
I have to address
Yeah,
this.
I saw it.
Brendan said, Moon, you wearing that shirt after last night, nearly as bad as United with that performance. LOL. Let me tell you something right now, Brendan.
Tell him, let him know.
Moan has no idea what you're talking about, okay? He might wear a soccer shirt, but he does not know anything about soccer. He does not watch it. He don't even play with us anymore. You know that. So, yeah.
Liverpool.
I just like how they fit.
They gave up a game. They shouldn't have tied. So it was pretty bad. But anyway,
let's keep watching.
Is clocked out.
Yeah,
he's-
I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. George, I want you over here. Chase him down. Go. You find him, George. No, go get him. Go get him. I said this. He walked, and that's a first. And now we're gonna have to deal with the fallout of this episode for the
Logan,
next two
Mike, let me ask you
fucking
guys
months. I swear to God, Bobby Lee, you fucking pissed off my co-host. He's probably crying in the driveway.
You know, the Beatles could have lost Ringo.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Shout out to the mime.
Okay.
So he had enough of being essayed, and he decided to walk off the set.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lee makes the joke that he's Ringo anyway.
I
So
think because they kept saying, like, I think it was Logan that kept saying, like, oh, you're checked out.
Yeah.
You know, where he's kind of like, he's in a weird spot too.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
He's turned that way talking to them. and
Yeah.
He's behind them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
he's
weird.
kind of like cut off from the conversation,
Yeah.
and he's in this weird headspace because he's uncomfortable.
He's trying to get through it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, did this really just happen?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. But then they're like, oh, it's just comedy.
Yeah.
And I know he's probably struggling with that too.
Yeah.
You know, with everything that's going on.
Yep.
Like,
And I think that's where a lot of people end up in the situations they end up in Hollywood, because the entire environment around you is telling you, like, there's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you because you're not okay with this.
Yeah.
So then you feel the need to go along with it in order to have a career, in order to have what you have and have these connections and be in these circles. And then you, before you know it, you're in Diddy's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting filmed with somebody. But yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, but we just.
I mean, if
we just
Ringo,
took a
if
profile
Ringo left, they would be like, oh, let's shoot fucking Abbey Road, record Abbey Road.
We just shot a new profile picture.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying is that
We need him.
That attitude right there was just unprofessional.
It was a bit
It
unprofessional.
was unprofessional.
Yeah, it was.
Listen, I'm a guest, right? I feel hurt and abandoned.
It was unprofessional, and I'm a guest. Dude, you pulled your pants down and made him smell your penis.
but it's unprofessional in the profession of comedy or improv.
Yeah.
And you do whatever and
No,
you go with it.
no.
Isn't
There
that
has
a
to
problem?
be there has to be lines.
Yes, there's got to be lines.
You got to have boundaries, man.
You think he really meant that?
Yeah.
I think he was being a little sarcastic.
Yeah.
I think
Being a
I
little
think he was.
facetious.
But I think he was underlying. He meant it.
Yeah. I think so.
He
And I
lucky.
think
He lucky he didn't get, you know.
worse happened to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know dudes that.
I think he understood that they would have jumped up to save him, you know. if something would have popped off like that.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. He's not going to any podcast and doing that.
No.
Let's just say that.
No, he's
right?
not for sure.
Come on.
I feel rejected.
No,
I know.
you got-
If he
you got
doesn't come back
5.
here, if he doesn't come back here by the time I'm done,
I'm walking too.
what the fuck?
No, you get him. I'll keep conversation.
Yeah. You better come back because
Logan, George isn't coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's not.
no, I lied.
He's not coming back.
Absolutely.
Why? Did I really hurt him? Be honest with me.
So, well, it wasn't just you. Also, I'm gonna be honest.
Is he really mad? This fucking guy?
Hey,
Yeah.
I too am confused. I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not, and I'm gonna tell the audience saying all this. He took a little abuse on this episode. You know,
So you see, like Mike's kind of like
he
yeah,
understands.
I understand. And but the Logan's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
'cause
confused.
To him,
what happened? Nothing wrong
his-
happened.
because his mindset to me is always about like, well, it's about getting likes. It's about building our brand.
Content.
Yeah, it's about content.
Getting the content.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
always
what
it's
Bobby Lee
about.
said, though, right? This is a podcast. We're here to get content.
Yeah.
And so you're going to smell my balls right now.
Right. But that's the problem. At what cost?
Yes.
So weird.
It's so weird. So weird. Right?
He got vulnerable.
See, I got too mean, and George and my guys over here, you guys have to check me.
but it wasn't.
was too mean.
No, he's a comedian. He's a comedian. He's
thought
like,
he
we're all
could
just
handle
joking.
it.
We're
I
just
know, I
fucking
thought he could
around. We're
handle
just
it.
fucking around. It was all fun and jest. Okay, the Bobby Lee situation. Who was the first?
Okay, so now we're on George Janko's.
So
George
now we're on
Janko's,
George
he split
Janko's
off.
podcast.
He
split?
started doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And not only did he start doing his own thing, he kind of blew up.
He blew up. Yeah.
And he's been having some pretty huge guests.
Yep. And he's speaking about now he could never really be who he was, right?
Right,
So
right.
now he's just him, and speaks about God. He speaks about his mistakes. Speaks
Yeah.
about how he's not
on his
perfect.
podcast, he came to the realization of why he shouldn't be cussing anymore.
Right. Like,
and it was when he was talking to two female Christians.
Yeah. So you see, like, because of who he is, his vulnerability, and his desire to want to know God, want to please God.
Yeah.
I guess people are connected to that.
Right.
I mean, obviously, he was already known because of being on that podcast.
Right.
But now he's actually doing better numbers than the Impulsive podcast.
Yeah, because people feel real.
Yeah.
You know, when someone's genuine, being vulnerable.
Yeah. And the Impulsive podcast has always came off to me as just like goofing around,
Yeah.
like goofballs just having goofy conversations. Like now he's having real conversations, and I think people get more connected with those type of podcasters. Look at Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman. These people are having like serious conversations. Jordan Peterson, and their numbers just keep going up. And I think George is doing that too, and he's also being vulnerable about his journey as a Christian.
Yeah.
So now we're on his show, and he's interviewing Mike, the guy who kind of saw why he was mad that day. This is a recent episode.
Yeah.
Right. Because that happened how long ago?
2022.
Wow. So now he's been 2 years removed from that podcast. He's doing his own show. He's interviewing Mike, and they're going to talk about their days on Impulsive.
Okay, the Bobby Lee situation. Who was the first person that jumped off the couch and said, George just left, that was not good, we have to fix the situation?
But did they not cut shit that you should have stood up for me and said, hey, you can't cut that shit? That's going to make him look like an idiot for leaving.
Okay, let's slow down. And I'll
So
answer.
that's the stuff
right
that he's talking about. I don't know if I actually got that clip where he says it exactly, but yeah. So that's when he's talking about like where they were. What's his name? Bobby Lee was grabbing
his penis and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, sexually assaulting him. Yeah. And they cut that out
because if you
to
don't
kind of make it
see-
look like he might have overreacted,
right?
Yeah.
But when you don't see everything in context, you don't get he doesn't make any sense. Like,
Right.
why would you just walk off?
Right.
We have always caught, this is all healthy, by the way. We have numerous times on the show, which I'm sure a number of shows do, caught things that we believe will protect the integrity or reputation of the guest.
That protected nobody but him.
No, of the guest. That's what I'm trying.
Well, what about the guy that you break bread with, bro?
But we removed a number of things that you said on the podcast.
Name one.
Well, no, I'm not
Eat
going.
booty,
to.
bro.
No,
Never
do you
once.
want me to?
Name
There was
one.
something that you said on the laser beam episode.
What laser beam episode?
Do you remember laser beam in Australia?
What
When
I
we did
say?
that episode? I'd rather not say. I can tell. Why don't I just tell you?
Just tell me,
after?
I'll beep it.
You said something about like laughing at a girl getting hit in like a parking lot. You saw like a fight.
I just said the joke wrong.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I didn't sexually harass somebody, Mike.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to die 1-to-1. I'm just saying
okay, Mike.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
it's
a
not-
huge
you
difference.
You can't compare those two things.
If this was an episode that was you, and what happened to you, and then the whole world thinks that I walked away because I can't take a joke, that's fucked. That's fucked.
It parlayed into more stuff happening down the line. Like it just became at that point. You saw me. I went on Bobby's show.
Yeah.
Right.
And they cut around it. You said that.
Well, I have no control over that. I didn't.
I try to make peace with this guy.
I know.
You've seen me.
Yeah.
I've tried to make peace with him behind closed doors. I try to reach out. I try to be cool. But by the way, and I'll just say this, we'll just empty it out. I never had a problem with Bobby Lee.
No, he knows.
I had a problem with the way that Logan and you were kind of gassing him to keep doing. He started the episode putting his balls in my face. I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds he kept grabbing my dick.
I don't think.
How would you feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your dick, talk shit to your face, and you can't smack or beat the living brakes off of this guy? Because Logan makes me apologize to this man, or I don't have a job on Impulsive anymore.
Wow. So yeah, he don't feel protected at all in that environment.
Right.
And he feels it completely expendable.
It's all for what?
Right. Clicks, likes.
But they didn't want to make. But why'd they cut it then?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to make him look
They
bad.
didn't want to make Bobby look bad because it could have looked bad for Bobby.
Right. Right.
They actually should have left that in because it would have blew them up even further though.
But they weren't thinking like that. It's about the guest, right?
But
because again, it's about relationships.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like it's about the relationships that are superficial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about their relationship.
Yeah.
Which
they
sucks.
have a friendship.
Yeah.
Well, according to them, history, friendship.
Yeah.
That's all for nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what supersedes
the relationship with the celebrity, the guest, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Money.
But I'm just thinking,
Money.
like, if the money and the content was really what they were about, they would have left it in, because it would have been like Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams. You know what I mean? Like it would have went mega viral because a lot of people would have been outraged at the fact that Bobby Lee did that, and then Bobby Lee would have had to answer for it. You know what I mean? And it would have spiraled into this whole other.
But when you're thinking like Logan's thinking, or people like Logan, you're never even looking at that, because it's about the game.
So
right.
But this
And
is
it's
my
about-
point. My point of saying it is, I don't think that that's honestly true that they were trying to protect Bobby Lee. I think they were trying to protect their brand as a podcast, because the fact that Logan sat there and watched him do that and didn't do nothing about it is going to make him look bad.
Well, exactly. That's in protecting Bobby Lee. They're actually protecting themselves.
Yeah.
They're protecting themselves.
The brand, the money.
In terms of how they want to look and how they want to be perceived as fun. That's not fun anymore when there's controversy, right? That's different. Shannon Sharp, he wants to smoke, so to speak, right? But they don't want to deal in that type of controversy. They'll deal with other controversy, but they're trying to get along.
Right.
And that's what you're seeing.
Okay.
How fucking crazy is that?
I don't think I understood.
See? He went back to his old self.
Right.
I can only speak for myself.
Bro, it's
I
on a
hope
group chat.
I hope you can
It's on a
understand
group
that.
chat.
No,
And when I asked him
I'm talking
point
about. No, I'm talking about during the episode, because there was. I didn't know that you were feeling.
But after the
type of
episode,
way
do you
about
remember
it.
when you called me? And I said, Mike, this is all that happens. And you said, verbatim, you said, it's our fault for not telling you this, but me and Logan are really the ones who should be talking to the guest. You are really there for a boys only episode. So while I get sexually harassed, my other co-host is trying to fire me, and you're trying to leverage me to be quiet during other guests. And then on my birthday, you guys shot 3 episodes, so I couldn't show up.
I just think.
Wow. So they basically told him, like, you're just kind of there as a throwaway guy. Like, when other people are there, you're not needed. So you shouldn't have been talking anyway. So why would he stick around for that?
Yeah. There's no depth in that. Like, that's why it's hard. Like, if people just want to see celebrities, they just want to, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to. But when you see, like, Jordan Peterson talking, if he's even think about Ryan Garcia. Jordan Peterson talking to Ryan Garcia. I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan Garcia, but if he's on Jordan Peterson, there might be some stuff that comes out, or, there might be some deeper things.
Right.
They come out. So I want to see that. But then there's some people that they don't care about that stuff. They just want to hear all the tea, or they only care about dumb stuff happening. And did you hear about this? Oh, did
Right.
you hear about that? So I think it's really about like what do we desire,
Mhm.
you know? But obviously, a lot of people are into in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
Because some of the biggest podcasts, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
On my 30th birthday, you shot 3
think-
episodes.
I
bro.
think
That's
by-
crazy.
I
It was on the
think-
calendar for months.
I think by the time we got there was so much like confusion and disarray in the podcast that there was no coming back. We got to,
but it
we
wasn't
got to a
my
point.
fault.
No. First of all,
wasn't-
I didn't say it was your fault. I didn't say it was your fault.
I think if you would have walked in my shoes, I think you would have felt a little different. And let's put it this way, right? And this is just us just talking about. I'm not trying to be upset. I'm trying to work with you and like grow. But if I got a deal, because I started my podcast because I saw
Well,
you
hold
guys.
on, don't go there because you're going to move on to a different topic. I want to button this one up.
No, it's the same thing.
No,
Why you think it?
No. Because I sent you the wrong video. 'Cause I cut that.
Oh.
I know, but just hold on.
It's over.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Okay, the Bob Lisa.
Okay. So, where there was something else you wanted to get to? from
No.
that?
I cut more of it because I didn't want to show that much.
Oh.
Because it was going into something else and I didn't want to.
Oh, got you.
I
Okay.
forgot that I sent you the wrong video.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's all good. So, did they ever like come to an understanding?
I mean, yeah, they worked through stuff on the podcast. Logan had a response.
He did.
But he didn't respond really to the essay stuff.
Yeah.
He responded to like, because I didn't show it, but he went into like a lot of the financial stuff.
Right. How he was being compensated.
Yeah, like he didn't say exactly what he was getting paid, but he was saying like there was times where he wasn't getting paid,
Mhm.
or he was barely getting paid, or he was spending more money than he was actually making.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that part. You're talking about George, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He couldn't pay his bills or whatever. He wasn't getting paid for like months.
Right. So Logan responded to a lot of that stuff,
Mhm.
but he didn't respond to any of the essay stuff.
Has Bobby Lee said anything? I know this is new about the sexual assault stuff. Has he responded to any of that?
I haven't
I don't
seen
know.
anything
Yeah.
about it. And also, it's interesting because in Logan's response, we don't have to show it, but he put up a lot of text about him talking to George and trying to, like, looking like he's trying to reconcile.
Yeah.
But this, when you look at the dates, it's way later.
Mhm.
So this is when George is already blown up.
Yeah.
This is so like even what's your intention now?
Yeah, I saw
'Cause-
something where he was like, I tried to tell him to use Prime as his drink instead of Celsius because
Yeah.
that's one of our major competitors. Like, dude, why would he want to do? Why would he care to do that?
Yeah.
So that you can make money off of a brand that's going to be sponsoring his podcast. Like that's
Yeah, but I'm like, he said some like little snarky things about George's podcast, you know,
Mhm.
like about him, but now you're trying to act like once he's starting to blow up, now he's sending the messages like he was trying to reconcile.
right.
You know, which I do think they need to, if they're actually friends, they need to work through this. But George needs to stand his ground,
Mhm.
obviously. And for me, it was something to see, like in the entertainment business, we blur the lines.
Yeah.
And we accept a lot of things that we should not be accepting. And the more we do that, that's culture. Because these are the these people are watching them.
Yeah.
Right? So what are we accepting in our lives? What are we letting into our houses?
Yeah. All right. So now we got the other story.
Okay, so this is a story. I don't know how many people have actually seen this, but this is about her name is Micah Miller,
Mhm.
and she committed suicide a couple weeks ago. She was a wife of a pastor. So that's basically how pastor's wife commits suicide.
Right. That's what the headline reads.
That's what the headlines were. But as people started to investigate this and look into it, man, it's craziness.
More strange about this is John, the pastor of his church, had been talking about their marital troubles in his sermons. But he didn't just talk about himself. I mean, he got up on the stage or the pulpit preaching to his church, claiming that Micah, his wife, had mental troubles.
When my wife went in the hospital, I looked at her phone and I counted over the past 2 years, 18 people who would text her and said, if you ever want to talk about your husband, you can talk to me and say anything and I'll keep it confidential. Why the heck does somebody want to hear what somebody else says about their spouse? And 2 of those 18 were men. One day I preached about getting rich, strong, healthy, and finding a hot wife that loves Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just kidding. That was wrong. I told you I shouldn't be here today. I shouldn't be here today. I told you. Last year, my wife, they went to Africa, had a wonderful trip, amazing trip. And she came back with the idea to start a school in Africa. And 6 weeks ago, she goes in the hospital, gets out, and just leaves. Just completely leaves me, leaves everything, drains the bank account, and goes. And guess what? While you're talking bad about me out there, I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed. And the elders walked out on me and got so upset about stuff. The city of Myrtle Beach called us, and they said, you guys just won the Best House of Worship Award, #1 church in all of Myrtle Beach. I thought, I didn't even know that. I said, how's that happen? They said, we phone call, we poll people all through the community. We look on social media, we see what people are saying, all these different things. And y'all got first place. Oh, that's so cool. 2 years ago when we started the school and people started giving me all kinds of problems and headache and things behind the scenes that had nothing to do with the school at all.
So this guy he's talking about his wife in the pulpit.
Yeah.
He's basically like, because when you hear him and you see how he flows or whatever you want to say, dude's a narcissist.
You know what's so funny? I did see that, but I turned it off because I couldn't watch him.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch him.
he's selfish. And his father was actually a pastor.
Wow.
Here's another interesting thing. 2 of the buildings that his father had burnt down. And the first one they were about to sell, it just burned down. Like a lot of weird stuff. His dad actually got indicted. He got prosecuted. I don't think he spent much time in jail, but because he was bringing people over from foreign countries, right? As like workers for the church. But he wasn't. He was basically treating them like slaves.
Yeah.
This is his dad. This is
Wow.
this guy's dad.
Wow.
Right? So just see like where he comes from. And he grew up in that kind of like privilege. He's a PK, right? So now he's a pastor and he's living out that same type of lifestyle.
Real quick shout out to Emma. He said, greetings, guys. And
What up, Emma?
Brendan talking about the Bobby Lee, George Janko thing. He said, that's hazing, bullying, and setting the wrong culture for the future. Absolutely. All right, let's keep playing as this guy sows the seeds of people hating his wife. It seems like he's setting this up for later.
Got upset, stabbed me in the back. Myrtle Beach called us again. Guess what? Y'all got Best Church of the Year 2 years in a row. That's amazing. You can't keep me down. You're putting fuel in my plane. And guess who's not going to be in the plane? My enemies. You have to take a taxi if you want to get there. And I pray for you, my enemies. I pray that you come to a place of repentance. I pray that you realize you're not hurting me. You're hurting the kingdom of...
There's no tears.
No tears. It's just a bad acting voice of crying.
God! This is the worst sermon I've ever preached in my whole life. I can't stand it. I just want to get the altar call and quit now. One day, listen, if you ever want to know what I'm going through in life, it's always about what I'm preaching about. God is so to do that every single time.
Public records show that Micah had been dealing with a lot from John. According to Micah, she had been involuntarily hospitalized on February 8th of this year. When this happened, she left her car in the Walmart parking lot, according to a police report. When she was discharged from the hospital, Micah was told by the hospital staff that John had picked up her purse and her car keys. After Micah was released, she went back to Walmart and her car was gone. Micah then called the police and reported that her car had been stolen by her husband, John. Now, while speaking with the authorities, Micah told them that she had actually known John since she was 10 years old, and she felt as though she had been groomed by him all the way up into the point when they were married. The officer caught...
Wow. Well, how much older is he than her?
I think she is 30 and he's 45, I think.
So he was a 15-year-old grooming a... No, wait, 25-year-old.
25-year-old
grooming a 10-year-old. Wow.
contacted John, who said that he and Micah were not legally divorced and that she suffered from mental health disorders and that she experienced episodes on an annual basis around Christmas time where she would become like reckless and she would spend these large amounts of money when she would stop taking her prescribed medications. John also said that Micah's car was marital property and he was not willing to give it back to her until at least a month had passed, which is usually how long her reckless episodes lasted. And conveniently for John, he had power of attorney over Micah's health care. The cops decided that Micah and John were still legally married and that they really couldn't like force John to give her her car back and that no technical crime had been committed. Things began to really intensify in March of this year, 2024. Micah reported to the cops that a razor blade was put in her tire. Now, Micah said that this was actually the second time that a razor had caused a flat tire for her in the last week at this point. The officer reported that the metal was actually a tire deflation device that could be bought online. So it wasn't just a nail or a slash, it was an actual tire deflation device. Whoever Micah accused of doing it was redacted in this report, though. Micah also reported to the officer that she had been noticing strange activity and believed that people were following her or at least watching her. Micah said that the person that she believed was doing this had a history of doing this to her. Investigators, however, stated that the evidence was not enough to prove that the person that she was saying did this did it. So I personally, with my unprofessional opinion, can only assume that the person that she may have been talking about was John, her pastor husband. Now, later that same exact day, a different officer got a call to go to a car dealership where he ended up speaking with Micah there. Micah told this officer that while she was on her way to the dealership, she stopped at a gas station. At this gas station, Micah said that a person pulled up next to her at the pump and began trying to speak to her. She told him to go away, and she said she did not want to talk to this person. And she said that when she pulled out her phone to try to record the incident, that this person just sped off. Micah then went on to tell the officer that when she left the gas station, the person tried to follow her to the dealership. And if this did not sound like, okay, this is a lot going on, did all of this really happen? While the officer was literally standing there with Micah talking about this, Micah got a call from a blocked number, which ended up being the person that she was talking about. The person, okay? According to this officer, the person was advised that Micah did not want anything to do or any more further contact with him, and that if he continued, a warrant may be issued. Now, at this point, Micah told the officer that she was literally afraid for her life, and after the officer left, Micah called him back to tell him that the mechanics that were working on her car, you know, to fix this tire and all of this stuff, literally found a GPS tracking device on her vehicle. About an hour later after this, Micah called back again to tell the officer that she was attempting to get a restraining order against this person. The officer asked if they could meet so he could see the tracking device for himself. Micah said yes, and they met up. As they were talking, the person that they were talking about slowly drove by in Micah's car. You know, the one that was taken? Yeah. Also around this time, Micah had been posting little updates on her Facebook, and she would post little videos. She even posted an emotional video talking about things that had gone on or things going on within marriage, and she offered support to anyone struggling with leaving a dangerous situation because they think that God will be mad at them. Check this out.
I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me. Male or female, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain.
Micah went on to file for divorce again on April 15th of this year, 2024. And at this point, it was so clear that things continued to escalate between Micah and John. However, nobody could be prepared for what would happen next. On April 27th of this year, Micah called 911 to report that she was going into this park area and basically that she would not come out the same way that she was going in, and that she wanted her family to know where they could find her and her belongings. An email from John.
What?
So she didn't want to say it because, you know,
yeah,
she basically offed herself,
Mm.
and it's recorded. So because it's 911,
Well, 911 call, yeah.
So it's a call of her asking. She was in a park in North Carolina,
Mhm.
right? So I think it's like an hour or something away from where she lives in Myrtle Beach, and she was just trying to ask, can you get my location because I want to make sure my family finds my body, basically.
So she really did it?
If she filed for divorce, why would she then?
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's so much. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Because like her family was saying that it didn't make any sense. Why would she kill herself?
Yeah.
She renewed her registration for a car. Like that was another thing.
Yeah.
She showed it the day before this
Right.
happened. So it's just like, why would you renew your car? Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like if you're in that state of mind.
Yeah.
But maybe you never know because
something could have happened that day that just told her, "That's it, I'm done."
Yeah, maybe he did something. Maybe he had something on her.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. That dude, he's obviously, you know, like I said, he's a narcissist. He's put a tracker on her car.
Yeah.
And he got he put her in the mental institution. Like had her committed, right?
Yeah.
Because he had power of attorney over her.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of other stuff that I didn't have. Like dude, it's a lot. I did a lot of research on this. A lot of stuff happened. Like, so the videos, this is the bare minimum,
right?
Like of what I'm sharing with you,
right?
What I and she did a good job. This lady of kind of like trying to condense it all.
Well, how do you know it's her for real? They called.
I mean, it might not have been. Could have been AI. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of stuff that could happen.
It sounds just like the person. And
yeah,
that's true. Nowadays, you could use voice. You could use 11 Labs and do fake voice.
She could have been murdered, and they said, "Oh, my body's. I'm gonna, kill myself," and it could have been somebody that did it.
Yeah, but she was seen going to the gun store and buying the gun. So that's another thing. So it's like,
yeah.
But the problem, like, even if she did it, she was almost driven to do this. She was made to seem crazy. She was made to be afraid for her life.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't the first time she had left him. And again, he was married before this. I think he had 5 kids. None of them were hers. All with, I think he had a kid like out of marriage and then had a kid when he was married.
So he had no kids with her? Did she have kids?
No, she had no kids. And even his wife, the previous wife divorced him because he was cheating on him.
Right.
And
why do you think she didn't have any kids? Because she probably didn't want to.
Dude, I don't know.
That's strange.
It is strange.
He's been grooming her since she was 10. How old was she?
Well, when they got married, I think she was either 23 or 24.
Yeah, so you would think.
Yeah, that's what, 6 years?
Yeah.
6, 7 years they've been married. So yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of weird things going on there. He even says something. Let's just keep watching.
Okay.
Micah has since been released. Let me read some of it to you because, in my opinion, it kind of gives a little glimpse of how he spoke to Micah. Mind you, the subject line says...
this is the email. So this is an email that was sent to her by him.
Okay.
Right. And this is from like a little bit before.
Divorce. Hey, Micah, I hope you are doing well. I'm ready to be done and move on and heal and find a first lady who won't treat me the way you are. I really hope you do great things. I was willing to do anything. I even had the amazing desire to have kids since you're not on meds. And I want to apologize for the flowers and fruit.
Oh.
See that? So it might have been him not wanting to have kids.
You're right.
I had the desire to have kids.
Right.
Since you're not on med. Like, but
So
you see how he's like throwing everything
He's
back
making
on
it
her.
all her fault. So he probably told her, I don't want to have kids with you. And he probably had her put on meds. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe he didn't want to have kids with her because he already had a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't want to have any kids. I don't want kids.
Right. So she probably did want kids.
Yeah. But then he maybe used that as a reason. You know how, dude, guys who are narcissists and abusers, they manipulate. They're always manipulating.
Yeah.
It was already paid for to last until your birthday. Feel free to give it all away. I sent that to you before I found out all of the things that I've recently found out about you and what you've done, and you disgust me. So please, let's meet soon and be divorced and let this nightmare be over for me. I'm enjoying all the African missions and Pastor Jumba, and all the pastors' wives are so excited for what we're doing. We expect 120 kids our first semester. I have about 10 to 12 people going this time, including Kristen and Tom Winslow and Becca and Jonathan, etc. And I need to move on ASAP. I need a woman who will respect me, love me, and be worthy of all that being a first lady is about. I mean, we could just go through line. I could just do a
So real quick,
first lady.
You know that? Yeah, he said it 2 times.
Yeah.
First lady.
Yeah.
And we joke about that first lady stuff.
Where does that come from?
Dude, it comes from giving too much honor to pastors.
Right.
And again, obviously they're giving too much honor to this guy. How is this guy still
Yeah.
like all the stuff he said when he's talking about when he doesn't know how to love people and he's speaking the way he's speaking on the pulpit
stage,
or
yeah.
the stage, and he doesn't know how to have grace for people.
Yeah,
bro, you don't need to be up there.
Right.
And he's talking about another woman that quick, like, so I can go on with my life with another woman.
Yeah.
How do you gotta heal first?
Well, you'll see why, because he's not genuine. It's all about a show for him. But he's a pastor. He's supposed to be living a life of mercy and love and attempting to love people, attempting to care for people, right? But obviously he's not.
Dissect that email, but the most hurtful part probably to Micah is the fact that that was her desire, was doing this school, and she worked with children and loving working with children, and he was just jabbing her every which way.
Last year, my wife, they went to Africa, had a wonderful trip, amazing trip, and she came back with the idea to start a school in Africa, and 6 weeks ago, she goes in the hospital, gets out, and just leaves, just completely leaves me, leaves everything, drains the bank account, and goes. Guess what? While you're talking bad about me out there, I'm building a school in Africa for over 100 kids to be able to be fed.
Listen to this. A waitress in South Carolina shared this receipt with us from a customer she served on February 23rd. Look closely. You see the customer was John Paul Miller, JP Miller, as he's been called. He left that waitress a huge tip, along with his phone number and a smiley face. This was just 2 months before his wife, Micah, filed for divorce.
Hear that? 2 months before divorce. This guy's out at bars trying to pick up waitresses.
The waitress, who we're referring to only by her first name, Christiana, reached out to John Paul a few days later and had a casual text exchange with him. Afterward, though, she hit the brakes, she says, after some red flags surfaced about him. And then, last week, after Micah killed herself, Christiana reached out to him yet again, not revealing that she'd made the connection between him and his wife.
Hear that again. Make sure you didn't miss it. She finds out about all this, knows him, reaches out to him after the fact of his wife. Because I don't know why. Morbid curiosity, I don't know. And watch what happens.
And she was surprised at his response, to say the least. Christiana joins us now. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Let's just get right to it. You most recently texted him after you heard his wife was dead. What surprised you about his response?
Honestly, it didn't really surprise me all that much. I kind of suspected that it wasn't going to be what you would expect from a grieving husband.
Yeah.
What did he say?
It was, well, I asked him if anything was new, and he more or less said, yes, lots new, LOL. I'll text later.
Holy shite.
LOL? Laugh out loud?
I will, Jessica.
Yes.
All right. And that is at that point that you said, okay.
Here's a text. Hey, what you doing? Working. I'm training in the bar. Nice. Maybe I'll stop in there. Send me a pic. Send me a pic. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
By this weekend, I'll be able to make you an old fashioned. Nice. Look, here's a recent. Oh my gosh.
Okay, no more with this guy, right?
Actually, I was pretty aware of things from the beginning. I had some suspicions. There were some red flags. I did some research before I even texted him. And then after I did, I spoke with a friend of mine whose friend had a very negative experience, a mortifying experience, really, with him and his church.
Funny story. Guy left his number on his check at the work.
What happened?
And
wow. Sorry, that's crazy.
that's her story to tell. I know that she witnessed some things that were not appropriate and faced some harassment when she tried to speak out about it.
This guy was serving as the lead pastor of a church after knowingly and probably explicitly telling people that he cheated on his wife. Once you have done that, you no longer are in ministry. You're supposed to leave. Okay? God can forgive you and there is grace for you, and that's awesome. God loves everybody. But once you've eliminated that, once you've broken that trust of the ministry, the cloth, you're out. That's the way most churches should do it, and it should.
So let's go back to, I'm going to show up that receipt again for that bill. When you waited on him, was he by himself?
He was with another man.
Okay, and we can see here the bill, he leaves you a a $20 tip, is that what it is?
Yes, it was almost a 50% tip.
A 50% tip. Was it clear to you what he meant by leaving a tip like that and with his phone number and a smiley face?
With the phone number and the smiley face included, I think it was pretty clear.
He wanted you to call him.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that's the implication.
All right. Then you guys exchanged a couple text messages in which he repeatedly asks you to send pictures of yourself.
Freaking training. I need a bikini pic of you. Hello, I don't know if I have any. No bikinis. I think most of the time when I'm in a swimsuit, I'm also in a mermaid tail. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, ends up sending him pictures. It's really weird, but okay.
Yes.
Including bikini pictures. And he called you super hot.
Yes.
Okay. At this point, do you think he's a single guy? Do you know he's married? What do you know about him at this point?
A lot of the things.
Wow.
Especially after the point that I talked to my friend, I was well aware. I hadn't confirmed everything or all of my suspicions until I talked to my friend. But after that point, I was pretty aware of what was up. And I feel like we have a rampant problem in our country and especially in our churches with this type of behavior. And I feel that it needs to be brought to light. So I saw an opportunity and I took it.
Is when he found out about his wife's passing, he decided to address his congregation after he did a full sermon. So he goes to church. He gives a full sermon, cracking jokes, just a regular Sunday, even refers to himself as like, handsome and charming. And then at the end of the sermon, he decides he's not going to do an altar call on this day, and he is going to have the whole congregation stand up, not say anything as they leave, and listen to what he said.
And your relative says, God, this is amazing. Why would you do this for me? And God says, I love you, but I didn't do this for you. You see, 300 years ago, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were listening to this tall, charming, humble pastor, and he told them that if they'll give their life to Christ, that God won't just take care of them, he'll take care of the ones that come after him. That's what I want you to leave here with. Okay, amen. We're not going to do an altar call today. Instead, I'm going to have you stand up, and I'm going to make an announcement. And after the announcement, I'm going to ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can. So y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make an announcement, I also want to say
who
that
stands for
my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next little bit. Because I don't want to I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks, I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away.
Keep that money coming in.
It was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're gonna have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And she wasn't. Y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more.
He put it on the medicine,
bro. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I was watching, I just turned it off. I didn't see the rest.
How do you talk about yourself? How do you joke like that? Like that was the second sermon he did.
Yeah.
He had already did another sermon before that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was number 2.
After he said all that, then he talks about her dying.
Then, like at the end, then he. Yeah.
He ain't grieving.
It's
just crazy.
I don't know what's going through your mind to think like, you know what? I want to show the people that I can really.
Yeah.
I can do this. So let me. Like, I don't know what you would be thinking. Like, bro, if my wife died, I'm not here. I'm not gonna be here.
Right.
Sorry. Like, it's not that important.
Right.
Right. But
then like the whole statement of like, I'm gonna say this and then everybody leave and don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna say this. Leave. Wait, stand when I tell you.
Yeah. Then leave, but don't talk about it amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
First of all, they're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, they did a good job.
Breaking it all down?
Yeah, breaking
Yeah.
it all
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
finding all this stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, and there's so much more.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
This is like
there's so much more.
One of those true crime murder mystery podcasts. Like you could do a whole story on this.
The FBI is involved like now because there's stuff that was going on. I think they were involved before, but like with him and his lawyer, who's a member of the church, and money missing, and
Wow.
you know, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot going on. I don't know if, matter of fact,
I'll keep going.
Yeah, this is still going.
Details to come. But just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, Bishop, he can pray. I get a microphone, he'll pray out. And if you have anything you want to share as well.
Micah's family saw that, and they were all but begging for a full investigation to take place into what happened, because they definitely believe that John abused Micah and may have actually been involved one way or another in her passing. In probate court filings from Micah's sister, Sierra, she says that Micah expressed to her that she was living in fear and that she may not make it to this divorce because her life would be taken from her. Sierra said in her filing that it is her belief, based on conversations with her sister Micah, that she told multiple people, including family members, that if I end up with that it was not by me, that it was by JP, John Paul, her husband. Also in this filing, Sierra stated that her and her sister Micah were very close. As a matter of fact, they text each other nearly every single day. Sierra also said that her sister Micah had expressed to her and others, family members, friends, a lot of different people basically, that her husband John was doing all of this stuff to her. So it wasn't just like this all came out of nowhere. Micah had been telling people for a while. Sierra also claimed in the filing that Micah had told her that John had been moving assets, including transferring his stake into the Myrtle Beach piano bar, to his son. This includes back in February when Micah was hospitalized. See, Sierra says that John removed Micah's personal items from their home and allegedly deleted evidence that Micah had been building against John for their divorce from her electronic devices. Sierra says that Micah was not able to access her iCloud account, email, or her Facebook either. So allegedly, again, just to simplify this, allegedly, According to Sierra, when he involuntarily hospitalized his wife and he was able to go and get all of her stuff, he saw all of the evidence that she had been building for when the divorce happened, and he deleted it all. Lastly, Sierra stated in these documents that her sister Micah had talked about what she wanted her life to be like after the divorce. Sierra says that Micah was hoping to participate in church missions and had mentioned wanting to live in Kenya part-time. Apparently, Micah had even shipped some of her personal items to Kenya in preparation for her move there. From the sounds of it, it just did not make sense that Micah would do this.
Like a fledgling.
Nope. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that is a crazy story.
It's crazy, dude. And
Like,
I just wanted to show it because, number one, I think we need to like spread this, you know,
Yeah.
just so people are aware of it, and because there's something else going on here.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a simple like she killed herself, but also just there are so many churches,
Yeah.
with guys like him.
Yeah.
At the
The
helm.
church is in trouble, man. Like,
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many people. Like I can't tell you how many stories I hear of pastors that are horrible people.
Yeah.
You know, like,
something. Sorry to cut you off, Jake, but it reminds me of a situation in Virginia Beach. I don't know the name, but Jessica told me about it. She used to go to this church. This guy, pastor, but he got off on it. He was like grooming girls. You know, he had a couple little, affairs or whatever you want to call them with these like younger girls. But he got off on it because he's like real
respected,
or
protected in the community.
Yeah, but it does happen a lot, man.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, did he give that waitress the number after his wife was killed?
No, right before, and then she texted him after she found out that his wife was killed.
Because she did some research on
Yeah.
who he was.
And when she heard the story that his wife had died, she remembered that they were talking. So then she reached back out to him, and that's when he responded with the LOL. I'll talk to you later about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's a charismatic guy, right?
Mhm.
He can talk. And again, like I think of Obama, I think of these people, like we got to get out of the spell that we think that just because somebody can talk nice,
Yeah.
that's somebody I need to be listening to, right? Man, the darkest people can look the nicest or sound the nicest,
Right?
Sound the most put together,
When the Antichrist
but
comes in,
inside there's straight a cesspool
Right.
of mess going on, and that's what we're seeing a lot with a lot of these people. Hopefully it gets exposed more and more, but we were on here a few weeks ago, and I think it was Nick Cannon said that he's got good discernment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't when you're focused on all the bad stuff, you're never gonna. There's so much that can happen that you'll never be able to figure it out.
Right.
And that's what happens. Like when something happens to you, now you're looking. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to discern. That's my point. But really, our safety is in Christ. Our safety is in trusting in God, putting our focus on God first, right? Like just like the counterfeit versus the real $100 bill, right? The way they understand the difference between the two is they focus on, they touch it, they look at it, they're dealing with the real 100.
Yep.
To be able to find what the phony is or the counterfeit. And I think this is what we need to focus on. Is God. Like pastors should be putting God first, not themselves. They should be drawing people to Jesus, not themselves, right? Like this guy talking about putting his wife out there,
right,
and saying all this stuff, like you don't even know there's people who came there that day, that never came to the church, right? And he's just telling people this stuff.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's so irresponsible.
Yep.
So irresponsible.
Yeah.
Crazy story.
That's why the
Crazy
Bible says all
story.
the time, watch and pray, because a lot of people are going to be deceived when the Antichrist comes because he's going to be loved.
He's going to be super charismatic.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why people were saying Obama's the Antichrist. But let's wrap it up there, guys. 10 o'clock. Got started a little late again, but yeah, that was some good stuff. Appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you guys so much. Talking to no one. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everybody who is there in the chat and been with us the whole time. Make sure you don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done it yet, and share this video so we can get some love from the algorithm. Also, if you enjoy these type of conversations, this is something that you want more people to see, want to spread it around. Go and sign up on our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv. And for as little as $3 a month, you can become a member. And there's plenty of other tiers on there that a lot of people sign up for. And we are so grateful for all of our Patreon members. And also, if you want to support with the merch, you can go to our store at chatan.com/shop. Get some merch over there. That also helps with the cause. And we have the Cash App, which is $youngliontv on Cash App. And if you want to come see us live, remember we have a show coming up where we want everyone in the Philly, Jersey area to be there. It is July 26th at the City Winery in Philadelphia. It's so easy to get to. You can take the Patco if you're in South Jersey right there. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. Good food, good wine, good music, good energy. But other than that, thank everybody for being here. Jake, thanks for those clips, man.
Yeah,
really was good content. And thank you, Mom, for producing. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Young lion go live, yeah. Young lion.